Hello there, Theories and Skills students. You've made it. You've made it to the end of the semester. You are on your way to Christmas break. One more week. You've got this. So the topic for this 14th and final session of our course is reflection on theory, skills, personal style, and faith integration. In this final session, you will integrate and reflect on your examination and application of theory and skills in this course. You will also articulate a Christian integration of your approach to counseling. So there's no reading assigned for this week. There's a short 2-ish minute final thoughts video. Here's your FICIP. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be wretched and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. As you consider your work in walking with and serving patience, again, remember the Latin patiens meaning one who suffers. Consider your own humility before the Lord and your experience in drawing near to him. To what extent do you experience God purifying your heart, bringing healing and rescue to you as you suffer well? How might you engage the Lord more deeply in the places of your own pain and grief so that you might be able to help others in theirs? So you need to submit this week your proof of your Counseling Association membership. This can be a receipt, a membership card, something like that. You've got your final exam. Okay. Some of you struggle with perfectionism. Some of you struggle with test anxiety. I want to encourage you to be so gentle and compassionate with yourself. You have an entire 14-week course worth of submissions to offset if your grade in the final exam isn't what you wish it was. Okay? I want you to understand that all the work you've put in up to this point protects your cumulative grade in this class from being impacted greatly by your final exam grade. So if you've done well in this class overall, then this final is a drop in the bucket that really can't budge your cumulative grade for this class very much. If you've struggled in this class and your grade is on the lower end, you're going to want to spend a lot of time studying for this exam in hopes that it could actually help bump your grade up a smidge. But I want you all to know too that in this field, nobody really cares very much what you made in theories and skills. Please pass the course, right? Because CC use a cohort model. If you fail this class, then there are certain courses you can't take over the next year with the rest of your cohort. And functionally, typically that will mean that you end up graduating a year after you intended to. It's not the end of the world if that happens. Students have alternative degree plans every day. And they thrive, some of them with a slower pace, actually. But if you want to stay with your cohort and you want to stay on track, just know that nobody's going to ask you what you made in your theories and skills course. No client who's thinking of coming to see you in practicum in like half a year from now is going to be like, well, wait, I don't know if I want you as my counselor. What did you make in the theories and skills class? They're not going to care. What's more important in our program is that you learn well, that you take in the knowledge and that you can do the skill set, and that you understand the professional dispositions and behaviors that are expected of you and enact those, that you think ethically and in a culturally sensitive way, that you are open to feedback, and you are hungry to learn and grow. All of those things matter way more than your GPA. So pass and call it good. And if that's really hard for some of you who struggle with perfectionism, then this is an opportunity for growth, to learn, to be gentle with yourself, to recognize that you are a finite human, we all are, and that since we can't duplicate ourselves, that you don't have all the time in the world to pour into studying for this exam, nor should you, even if you did. I used to say, because I used to struggle some with perfectionism, for a long time, I didn't even struggle with it. I just embraced it, right? It did me well. There was a lot of benefit, a lot of reinforcement that came from being a perfectionist. And then I hit a point as all of us do who are adventurous and courageous, where I came face to face with the fact that I was a finite human who couldn't do it all. And then I struggled with perfectionism. And I learned self-compassion, partially through courageously choosing to do less than my best. When I was growing up, the phrase that was in my family, which seemed nice and compassionate at the time, was just do your best, just do your best. But for many of you, your best is unhealthy. Your best means you don't sleep. Your best means you don't connect well with your loved ones. Your best means you don't carve out time for the Lord because you're doing your best in your classes, in your studying. Please don't do your best. They're like, what? Dr. Bridger said, don't do your best. I did. I mean it. Don't do your best. Try hard and be well and choose wellness on purpose over and over and over again. And if that means that you don't do your best, but you end up well and competent and growing, that's what we're after. That's what matters the most. And that you are connected with others, with the Lord, with yourself, with your body, right? That you stay integrated and grow toward more integration, greater integration. That matters way more than some silly number, okay? Or letter grade. All right? Pass. Please pass. Try hard. Don't do your best. Be gracious and compassionate to yourself. And you will move into the holiday season more well and more, whole. More whole. Okay, so there is a journal entry for your spiritual formation portfolio. This assignment will walk you through how to do that. Let's just take a look and see what it says. As you consider your work in walking with and serving patients, write a 1 to 2 page paper in which you reflect on and address the following prompts. What is the view of grief and suffering espoused by James 4:8-10? What is the purpose of grief in the scripture? What does the Lord hope to accomplish through suffering? To what extent do you experience God purifying your heart, bringing healing and rescue to you as you suffer well? And how might you engage the Lord more deeply in the places of your own pain and grief so that you might be able to help others in theirs? You will add this journal entry to your LiveBinder account. And once you've added this entry to LiveBinder, scroll down to the text box and let your instructor know that you've added this journal entry in LiveBinder simply by typing, "This entry has been saved into my LiveBinder account." In other words, I don't need to see what you've written. It's for you. It's for your own reflection. I just need you to let me know that you accomplished it. And I trust you that you wouldn't make that up. Okay? All right. I want to say here at the end a couple of words. First of all, please, please, please take some time to complete your course eval and your professor eval on me, honestly, and give it a little bit of effort and time and intentionality. Your voice matters in this program. You may think I am one of many. You may have gone to Res 1, looked around, so there are so many students in this program. What voice do I have? No, your voice matters. When master instructors of these courses are considering how to redevelop them to make them better and better, which we do frequently, we look at the course evals that students have submitted, at what they've been saying. We take that feedback into account in order to try to make this course the very best that it possibly can be for you, while accomplishing all the things that it needs to accomplish by KCREP standards and also by the standards of our program, so that we're training you well and preparing you well for work in this profession. And then as far as the professor evals go, those matter a lot more than you might think. Your numeric score as you're scoring me as a professor, those are averaged. And when we as professors go up for promotion, that is a large piece of what's considered. We are more of a teaching program, not as much a research program. Your other professors and I, we do conduct original research. We are required to publish and present, but more weight is given to how we teach you guys. And so when deans from other schools in the university who know nothing about counseling are looking at, does this professor merit, does their work merit or warrant promotion from assistant professor to associate professor, then later from associate professor to full professor. We don't have tenure, but we do have promotion. Does it warrant and merit this promotion? One of the big pieces of evidence that they consider, like one of the biggest, is the student evals on the professor. How do students say this professor does with teaching? Does this professor seem to care? Does this professor respond in a timely manner? Does this professor offer extra helps and a piece of themselves? And I will tell you that teaching is my passion, and I love it, and I want to improve. So all feedback, both reinforcing of what I did well, and if there's anything you can think that maybe I could do better or should do better, if you'll include that too, please. And I'll look back at that and consider it and try to make those changes, implement that feedback, and improve, always trying to improve. I don't think I'll ever be done. I hope not. Until I die or the Lord comes back, I'm going to keep trying to grow better and better. So please know that your voice matters. So please complete those evals for the course and for me as a professor. And then last but certainly not least, I want you to know it's been an honor to be your professor for this course. I love teaching this course because I get to be sort of formative in your skill development of your basic counseling skill set. And I take a lot of time and I sacrifice a lot of other things, not just because it's required in the course. Other professors do things differently. Not every professor gives video feedback to every single student after having watched every single minute of every single role play. But the reason that I do that is because I care about being able to help you grow. And I believe in you. I believe in your potential. And so I want to help you reach ever further in your development. Push you, challenge you, stretch you. So if you felt this semester that I did that, I hope that it blesses you to know that you're important to me. Someday you're going to be working with clients not that far in the future. And I won't even necessarily know how you're implementing the skill set that you honed in this course. But I know in a general way and trust that you are here because you care about helping others well. And so I hope I've been a piece of that, a successful piece of that journey. It is my dream job, honestly, to get to do this with you guys. So anyways, thank you. Thank you for all of the open-mindedness that you demonstrated as I gave you that feedback and implementing it and considering it and implementing it. Thank you for showing up as your authentic self. All right. I wish you all the very, very best, and I hope to have many of you again in future classes. Come say hi to me at Res 2. Okay? Thanks.